What's up, guys? It's Captain Dean Kim. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how being good looking actually can make you less attractive in the long run. And what do I mean by that? Okay, so for me, I had a phase in my life, right, where I actually was considered ugly, and I had to use other aspects of my life to attract women. And then I transitioned into where now people started to find me physically attractive, and in a way, I was attracting women with my looks, right? So, I have to give credit to, I think, Rollo Tomasi. He said that there's a point in every man's life where, besides learning seduction or game, or whatever you want to call it, flirting, whatever, there's a point in my life where he says you supplement your game either with your looks or other than looks, like money, status, whatever. And whatever you get validation from, you either go the looks way or you go the other way. So for me, because I lost the weight, and once I lost the weight, I found out that somehow women find me physically attractive. I went the other way where I was like, I'm going to squeeze all the lemon and make the most lemonade out of my looks rather than go the money, status, I guess more of the money route, right? So I went that route. And now that I became a coach, I understand how when a student comes to me, he's like, Danny, obviously you get girls, you're 6 foot tall, and also, you have this, you look that way, so you get girls naturally. And I was like, okay, bro, trust me, I didn't always have this. I worked on this. But I don't hate on my clients when I do that. I actually feel where they're at. Because I was at their place when, obviously I am taller. Maybe I'm 6 foot and these guys are shorter. So I feel their pain in terms of like not being considered attractive naturally, right? So I do know, I have an empathy of where they're coming from. Okay, so on that note, right, I do handle most clients who consider themselves physically unattractive, and I also handle some clients who are good looking. So let me tell you the actual difference between the both, right? So when I realized, and I have somewhat, you could say, attractive friends because I started, modeling in Thailand, and I realized that these guys, right, actually some of them don't have game. So what do I mean by that? So a lot of good-looking guys, you got to realize when people are born with something, right, they're given something, they have an ego about it. Everyone has an ego, right? We're all ego. But when I was considered ugly, right, I didn't have an ego about my looks. Why? Because I wasn't complimented on my looks. I wasn't validated my looks. So when people call me ugly or handsome, I didn't really care. Like literally, obviously, no one called me handsome. But let's say my mom sometimes, oh, you look good today, right? I didn't believe in her. I was just like, even when I lost weight, what's kind of mind blowing? When I first lost weight, and I remember this like older girl group. There's like I used to go to this Korean church, right? And these group of girls like, oh wow, Danny, you're kind of cute. And I literally looked at them and I was like, I don't believe in you. Like, stop teasing me. I literally thought when I first lost weight and people started complimenting me on my looks, right? I actually didn't believe in them. I had literally no ego that I didn't care if people called me good looking or ugly. I had no ego, right? So when it comes to looks, because I just accepted that I'm gonna look like the way I do, and usually it was people will find me unattractive, right? That was literally what I accepted. But then once I started being considered good looking and I started getting paid for my looks and I get validation from Instagram, now all of a sudden I have an ego when it comes to my looks. So it kind of affected my game negatively when I would approach a girl and she rejected me. I got butthurt because I felt like, wait, I am more physically attracted to you, I feel like, and you're rejecting me? Like, girl, know your place. And I got too cocky, right? But what I realized when I used to gain, when I was considered unattractive, a little overweight, I wasn't as good looking in terms of physical standards, I had no ego. Okay, she rejected me. The good looking girl rejected me. Of course, the good looking girl rejected me. But when I got like the average girl and the good looking girl, I knew it was purely game. But now because I focus so much on looks and I compare my looks to other guys, I realize sometimes I even hesitate to cold approach, or I don't want to cold approach because I feel like I'm too good looking for the girl, or I don't want to get rejected by a girl like her, right? So what I realized with even some of my clients, the good looking guys who do come to me, they're usually humble enough to know that they have to like get better in game, because even good looking guys, they realize as you progress in society, you might be getting girls in high school or college, but in the workplace, there's like, especially when you go out to the world, there's plenty of good looking guys and there's always better looking guys than you. And I realized this even about myself. So I remember I went to like a shooting location, like a job, modeling job, and I remember I roomed with a guy, another Korean guy, and usually I don't get jealous of like guys who are like not Asian and good looking because I'm like, yo, you have different features than me. There's no way I'm gonna look like you, so whatever. But when I see another Asian guy who's ridiculously good looking, like some Korean guys are ridiculously good looking, I remember I compared myself and I was like, I got super insecure because I was like, man, like I could tell the staff all liked him. Everyone was like giving him the attention at the beginning. And I was just like, dude, like this sucks. Like, I guess in the world, in life, like no matter what, there's always gonna be someone who's better looking. And I know that comes with money too, right? Or talent or everything. But I kind of had a bro moment with this guy because this guy actually, okay, so I'm not gonna say he had no personality, but this guy literally doesn't do anything and girls give him attention, right? Like he could just ask questions. Like I always tell my students, stop asking the girl questions. Like try to, cold read a little bit, make assumptions, make more jokes about it. But this guy, in a weird way, he's just like a nice guy. He's just like a genuinely nice guy. And I wouldn't say he has no personality, but he's just like a nice guy who you really can't have a conversation with. Like you're not gonna have fun with the guy just one-on-one. Even as a dude, I can't just have a great conversation with this guy. But long story short, he's just a quiet, good-looking guy. And yeah, that's how he gets girls. But I kind of asked him, like, have you, like, I was honestly, bro, like, you're considered one of the best looking guys here, and we have literally 4 other models here. Like, have you ever felt insecure about your looks? And he said, yeah. He said that because he was basically a K-pop trainee, and sometimes he even gets surrounded by guys who are better looking than him. And when it comes to that, he has no ability to possibly, so let's say him and another good looking guy go to a place and there's a girl that he actually likes. Usually, if the girl that he likes his look, he'll win. But if she likes the other guy's look, that guy will win. So there's no like, it's kind of luck, right? And I think most good looking guys, that's how kind of like they game, right? When they go out to the, to go out or something, or they meet girls, most of them, like the girl either shows indicator of interest, right? IOIs, or like they kind of get lucky on getting the girl, or like, yeah, I guess you could say good looking guys get luckier. It's like kind of like an NBA player, right? Who is very talented. He could jump out of the roof. He's 6'5" or 6'7", and he's really tall. And like good example, there was a stud, like a guy who had a really good basketball game. He was a stud college basketball player. His name was Michael Beasley, and he got drafted like 2 or 3, and he was a dominant player. Even to this day, NBA players, this guy got game. But for some reason, right, in the NBA he didn't succeed. In the NBA, in the professional level, he didn't succeed. And I always wondered, even for myself, why, right? And the guy was so talented. It's because he was so talented and he was so good with the basketball. He was just a natural at the sport that he didn't really practice. He didn't work on his game, his mental game, his recovery, his diet, all the extra stuff to take you to the next level, right? So basically, a guy with this much talent, he always dominated the high school level, the college level. But when it got to the NBA, where it's the best of the best, he couldn't compete. So with this good-looking guy, right, and I feel like with other good-looking guys, if these good-looking guys don't have game, and they usually don't learn game, right, because they kind of go with the lowest hanging fruit. I always realize sometimes good-looking guys, like, they just go with what's given to us. But the guys who, even me, I'm not considered like that great looking, right? I'm not like a super Brad Pitt or like one of the best looking guys out there. And also, remember, I learned game when I was considered ugly. So I realized that I don't always go for the lowest hanging fruit. Even if I go for the lowest hanging fruit, and especially my students whose validation don't come from looks at all, right? They're not ugly, but like I would say, like, they're not they're average, right? They're like mediocre in looks in terms of like they're just normal guys. They always go for the highest hanging fruit, and sometimes because they go for the highest hanging fruit, they sometimes get the highest hanging fruit. It's not like I know sometimes students who hit way above their belt, and I'm just like, damn. And I remember this one student. I trained him for a year, and I trained 2 students, right? And both of them, we traveled together, and we just like literally like traveled together, ate together, trained together, everything. Like it was just pretty much us living together. And one student was actually, they're kind of the same height, to be honest. And one student was better shape, better looking than the other student. And the other student did better in terms of pure results and in terms of getting more attractive girls and dating more attractive girls. He did better. And it was just because he was more dominant. He knew that, the other student actually once he started like working on his body and he started getting more compliment on his looks, he cared more about looks, while the other student just worked on his game. So am I saying that looks don't matter? No. If you have better looks, it does help. But I think the main point is that what I realized with good-looking guys, they have an ego. So they don't really focus on the game because, yeah, it does suck to get rejected by an ugly girl or an unattractive girl, right? Well, I can say that because girls find some guys unattractive. Some girls could say I'm ugly. So the whole point I'm trying to make is there's a lot of guys out there that I work with who quote unquote are mediocre or unattractive. But I've been proven multiple times that those guys are the ones who actually work on other aspects of their lives, like game, money, career status. And I also tell them, I also coach my clients to squeeze out the most of your looks. I'm not talking about plastic surgery. I'm not talking about these extracurricular. I'm talking about purely yourself. How can we make you attractive, right? Because there's multiple ways. So losing weight always makes every student attractive, right? So I would say, let's help you lose weight. Let's work out fashion, all these extra stuff. And what happens is when a student actually, kind of like I said, always in all these videos, 4 pillars, right? Status, money, looks, and game. If you improve all 4 aspects, even though if you're not considered the most attractive guy, you somehow improve your life so dramatically by doing that. Like, I've literally seen students, especially the students who consider coming in, they have no ego about their looks. All they believe is that I'm gonna work on my game and other aspects to get the beautiful girl. They actually get a beautiful girl. It's mind-blowing, and I really hope you guys watch this video and realize, like, if you feel ugly, if you feel like you're unattractive, and you like, I can't relate to you, you're a shirtless dude with muscles in the video. Here's the thing, go to my Instagram. I used to be fat, I used to be ugly, I used to, try to meet girls when I was considered ugly, right? And what I noticed is, for me, I'm going the route, I like the whole bodybuilding aspect, the whole muscle thing. I like looking this, so I feel more confident when I do this. But you don't have to look like me to be confident and get girls. Because I've seen plenty of students who are shorter than me, who don't have muscles, get girls. So I know, like, I've been pushing fitness sometimes, but that's because that makes me confident. So what I'm saying is, for those guys who literally have no ego when it think they're ugly, who don't find them attractive, it's like, I can't do online dating, I can't do Instagram because I don't look like you. That's BS, right? Remember, it's all about making you the most attractive. What makes you the most attractive, right? You could be hilarious, you could be literally short, but like you have the best charisma, you could be dominant, you could be just a badass, you could be a martial artist, you could be anything. So whatever makes you attractive, like, that's what I try to focus on as a coach. So I hope you guys watch this video and realize that, yeah, dude, sometimes being good looking is a crutch. Being too talented in anything can be a crutch because you have so much expectations, you have such an ego. If you're like considered a prodigy, then you have an ego and you don't want to fail. But it's those people who have no ego and is willing to fail, is willing to like make themselves look bad in front of a girl. Those are the ones who actually succeed. So I hope this video really helps you guys. Once again, guys, go join my Facebook group. I talk about all these aspects of the 4 pillars. If you want a one-on-one coaching call to see what makes you attractive, let's get on that call. Go on dominantasiandating.com. Let's get on a call and really talk about this. So it's been a pleasure. Captain Daniel out.